Hello and welcome to Phoenix Point Backer Build 2. I'm the community manager for Snapshot Games and I'm going to be taking you through our latest pre-alpha development build and hopefully showing you some of the new additions and features. First of all, before I start, we have added a couple of extra maps to the procedural generation pool that you will be able to play in this build. We've also made some refinements to the user interface in general. We've also improved the lighting on the maps, adding daytime and nighttime missions, and something that was requested by quite a lot of people. If we go up here into the menu in the top right hand corner, we have the option to enable a free camera, which removes the 90-degree snap lock from the rotational camera and allows you to freely position the camera at any angle you want. So for those of you who don't want that restriction, you can just tick that and make it go away. So I am playing on the Fort Freiheit map, and I appreciate this may be one that you have seen before. My reason for doing this is because I wanted to be able to show you quite quickly one of the two new features that we've added in this build. So the two main features of Backer Build 2 are the Technician class and also the Armadillo APC. Now on the Fort Freiheit map, the APC starts right next to us, so it's nice and easy for me to show you that. You will find the Armadillo on the other random maps, but they will be elsewhere. They will be in the base and you will have to get to them before you can use them. So if you do remember the Fort Freiheit map, the Armadillo APC was always here, but it wasn't a vehicle you could use. It was literally just a static object, a bit of set dressing, but it is all there now. So we have our heavy, our assault and our sniper as before, but as mentioned, we now also have our technician. The technician is replacing one of the two assault soldiers from the previous build. Now the technician is a very versatile class. This particular technician has a PDW. That weapon is a very agile weapon, so it allows her to return fire. She can take up to 4 shots per turn if she doesn't move, because it only requires 25% of her action points to fire. It is a very deadly weapon up close. It does quite a lot of damage and fires quite a few rounds, but it's not as good at a long distance. PDWs are really just designed for up close combat, hence the PDW. It's a personal defense weapon, so at a distance not quite so accurate, but really useful up close. However, the main feature of the technician are these mechanical arms on her back, her mech suit. Those allow her to heal both herself and other soldiers, not just restoring hit points but also repairing damaged limbs. They also allow her to repair vehicles, in this case the Armadillo APC. Now currently she can do this an infinite number of times. That won't be the case in the final game. There will be a limit on it, but certainly in this build there is no limit to that. And these arms can also be used for a devastating melee attack that not only does damage but will also stun the target as well. Again, in the final game that mechanic will work slightly differently. In this current build it's a guaranteed stun, providing you do damage. In the final game you will have to do a certain amount of damage before the stun actually takes hold. Now do bear in mind, like everything else in Phoenix Point, the equipment on her back, the mech arms, can be hit by enemy fire and they can be damaged and destroyed, and that will stop her from using those abilities. Also, you will notice that she has a drone, a turret that can be deployed. If we go and look in her inventory, we can see that there is a turret here. The turret is an automated defense system that can be placed down on the ground. It's much like the technician, carries a PDW, so it can return fire, but it will automatically, at the beginning of your turn, choose the target closest and fire a shot at it. Let's back out a little bit now. We have the APC. The APC has a lot of health and a lot of armor, but that doesn't mean that it's indestructible. It can be destroyed, although as I said previously, the technician can repair it. In order to use the APC, you will need to put a soldier inside. I'm going to use my sniper for this one, and we are just going to go and move him to this position on the back where you see the little yellow square. If I move my sniper round to there, we will now have the option on the action bar to enter the vehicle. So let's go ahead and get him inside. Now the Armadillo can actually carry all 4 of your soldiers, but do bear in mind that should the APC be destroyed, everybody inside will be lost. Now, the APC has its own weapon. It's got a machine gun on the top, which is capable of firing 8 shots. Does quite a lot of damage. There are no reloads for it at the moment, so you do have to be a little bit careful with the ammo. And it also has this ram ability, which is very, very useful for taking out those pesky crabmen. Without further ado, let's get into the mission and see what we can make happen. I'm going to start with my assault, move him forward, hopefully to a better position. Now, of course, I have taken my sniper out of the equation on this particular one, so I do have to be a little bit careful there. One thing that is great about the technician is that she can still move quite far up and have a decent amount of time left for overwatching. So let's move her up. We haven't spotted anybody yet. Let's go ahead and put her on overwatch. I'm going to do the same with my assault as well. And we'll just end the turn for the heavy. Now, I still have the option here to move the APC, and I will do that. And one thing that you'll find this thing is going to do is literally just crash through all of the terrain, because it doesn't care about cover in the slightest. It doesn't have the ability to overwatch, so there isn't really a lot of point in me leaving it all the way back here. Maybe it'll draw some enemy fire. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to move it a little bit further forward as it drives over the hole. And it's very useful for us because it is good at spotting. It can also turn on the spot as well, so even though it's a 3x3 vehicle, it manoeuvres around quite easily. There are some places on the map that it cannot reach though, so you do have to be a little bit careful with that. Here we have our first target. We take a PD... No, that was our assault taking a shot. But we do get a shot from the PDW and actually did 3 damage. There we go. Now he's deployed his shield. This guy is a melee soldier. Let's go ahead and just move the assault behind him. We've got another one over there. In fact, this might be an excellent opportunity to actually demonstrate the assault's the technician's melee ability. So let's go in and move there, and we won't actually have enough time units to do it on this turn, so I'm going to have to go ahead and rethink that. If I swap her weapon over to her mech arms here, we can see that it actually requires 50% of our movement points, which we don't have. So let's go ahead and get rid of this crab the old-fashioned way by going and putting some bullets into it directly. Let's try and avoid hitting it anywhere where it's armoured. We want to do as much damage as possible here. So we get 4 shots from the PDW that deal 3 damage each. Everywhere's got a little bit of armour here, so we might as well just try and put it into the leg or something. Let's go and see if we get lucky. There we go, we actually got him down. I'm fine with that. We will be able to demonstrate that ability later on. It's not a problem. We've got this guy over here. What we could do, if we wanted to, is go straight for the ram, and I think that is what we might do. So, with our APC at full action points, I'm going to go and hit the ram button, and you'll now see that we actually have this little arrow that we can use to position. It doesn't show how far it travels. That is something that we will fix in the interface on a subsequent build. But let's go ahead and ram in this direction. We fold the gun up, bring up the bull bars, and just ram forward. And there he goes. He is down. We are aware of a few little glitches where sometimes the APC gets a little bit stuck when you do that. But again, it is pre-alpha, and it is something that will be finished for the final game. Let's go ahead and start moving up the rest of our squad so that we're in a better position to deal with whatever the Pandora virus can throw at us. Although that's never always a guarantee of being able to deal with it, but we'll do what we can. Can't put you on Overwatch, so let's go ahead and just end the turn. Hopefully there aren't any things going to jump right out on us straight away. But there probably will be, because that's usually what happens when I'm recording one of these videos. If something can go wrong, it will. So we have a gunner. He's quite far back. He's actually firing at the technician, which is a little bit cheeky. Get a return fire shot with the PDW and with the assault rifle. They're both agile weapons. It's also worth mentioning that the sniper's pistol has now been correctly designated as an agile weapon, so that can now return fire too. Let's go ahead and move our assault in a little bit further. I'm going to look him in this corner, give me some better sight lines. Hopefully we might spot something else. We have a crate over here. We have redesigned the look of the crates slightly, and you will now see that any crates in your line of sight appear down here on the target bar at the bottom, and the icons will actually change once you open them, so you know that it's one that you've already opened. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my technician, and I'm going to go and move her forwards. I'm going to put her behind this cover, I think, for now. And what I am going to do is I'm going to deploy the turret. Now in this current build, the turret doesn't cost any action points to deploy. Again, that is something that will be corrected by the final game. You can't also pick them up in this build, but you will find extras and spares in some of the crates that are around on the map. Again, in the finished game, she'll be able to pick up and reuse a turret. So yes, you can see now that I have managed to get the APC a little bit stuck. We will get that out on the next turn. We can also, if we want, on the left-hand side here, we can select our sniper who is inside and actually get him to exit the vehicle, should we want to just use the vehicle itself and not the sniper. But I'm going to take this opportunity to use the machine gun and take a shot at this guy. Now, he's quite far away, so he's only just inside the yellow circle, so probably only about half of our shots are going to hit here, if that many. We do fire, I've got to remind myself now, we fire 8 shots that do 4 damage each, so if enough of them connect with him, that will probably be enough to do some serious damage. I'm going to aim slightly to the right and down. We'll probably take this cover out and be able to hit him quite easily. Okay, didn't quite do as much damage as I wanted, but we did get him down to 2 health. No bleeds, unfortunately. And he hit the APC, but didn't do any damage to it, so that is quite okay. We could go ahead and take him out with the sniper if we wanted. I mean, that is certainly a possibility, but we wouldn't really have a lot of action points left after getting him out. So let's not bother doing that, and we'll just move the heavy forwards. We've spotted an enemy there, actually. You were sneaky. We didn't spot you as we came through the first time. Now, I can shoot at you. It is showing that we're in the yellow area, but that again is a little bit of a bug at the moment. Where are you? Yeah, we're behind the wall, so we can't actually shoot you from there. And from here, we won't be able to take a shot. That is quite disappointing. So I'm going to go ahead and move you around here, just so that you're covered from the guy with the gun. And we can't overwatch on you, and we can't overwatch on the assault, so we might be in a little bit of trouble. What I could do is get the sniper out, put the sniper on overwatch, but I don't think I'm going to, so I'm just going to end the turn, and we'll take whatever comes at us. So you're actually moving around that way, but you're just deploying your shield and not attacking. That's fine. You're moving closer and taking a shot at the turret. That's fine. The turret will return fire. Like I said, it's an agile weapon. And we have our first dead crabman. Excellent. So, our turret didn't take a shot at this guy. There's no point because our heavy is in the way. We don't want to shoot him in the back. Let's go ahead and move this way around the crab. And we will take a shot with our heavy. Let's just go straight for the face. This should be a guaranteed kill. There we go. He wasn't getting away from that one. Now, I do want to try and get the APC out of here, but I've got to be a little bit careful how I do this, because it is a little bit stuck right now. Let's see if I can just ram it over there. I think I might have broken it. Nope, it's still going. Now, it has used all of its movement for this turn, so that is fine. So we've got our technician over here. We do want to put our technician in some cover. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to have too many people around here, just to make it easier to move that APC later on. I'm going to move you around there actually, because I want you covered from that direction. I could take a shot at that guy if I wanted to, although the odds aren't looking great, so let's put you on Overwatch. And we do have our assault over here, who might be more useful for that particular maneuver. So let's go ahead and put you here, because I think that's great cover, and I'm going to put you on to Overwatch as well. Can't actually see anything that I could shoot at here, because this is now selected my sniper. So let me just go ahead and end the turn. We've got another gunner coming in. Took a shot there from our technician, and I think our technician might have actually even hit the armadillo. The armadillo has had some damage to his armour. Lots of return fire shots, including the turret. We have done some damage to that guy, so that is very good. We've got another gunner here. Our assault is doing exactly what I wanted him to. It's a shame he only did 2 damage. We can see we've got another crate in the corner. Get a return fire shot. We've disabled his grenade launcher, which is great. Now, we did manage to take out all of our cover. The cover won't be so easily destructible in the finished game. At the moment, different cover doesn't really differentiate its strength, so shots will destroy everything just as easily. We really want to finish this guy off. Obviously, he's already done some damage to our assault. Now, it's showing that I can't actually see him, which is a little bit annoying. So what we could do is we could grab ourselves a grenade and just throw that in there. That should be sufficient to deal with him. There we go. Don't need to worry about that anymore. I would like to go and get that chest. Do we have enough time for a self-heal? We do. So let's go and do that. We are still out in the open a little, but I think in general we'll be fine. Just make sure I switch back to my assault rifle so that we have the return fire option if needed. And I can now move the APC, which is what I wanted to do. So let's go ahead and go over here. Let's try and get ourselves in a position to deal with some of these guys. We've got another gunner hiding in the toilets. And we've got this guy over here. Now, if we don't move the APC, we can actually fire twice on a single turn. It's a little bit complex around here to try and start ramming him. I don't really have a straight line to him. So let's go ahead and use the gun. Again, we are quite far away. Try and get all of him in the middle of the yellow circle for maximum chance of hitting here. Oh, I've got him down to 1 health, which would have been better if we'd have landed a bleed. But unfortunately, we did not. So we do still have that turret at the front. We've got this guy over there that we do need to be careful of. Let's go and put our technician into some better cover. Now we could just go ahead and take a shot here if we wanted. We've got a shot on that guy. It's very unlikely to land, and we can't see that one. So no, I think this is probably another good time for an Overwatch. We've got our heavy, who we could probably do with putting in some high ground. Now, how far can we actually move our heavy on this turn? Can we get him all the way over here? Not quite. I'd love it if I could. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move my heavy over to here for now. Put him behind some cover. We don't need to worry too much about the heavy getting hit, simply because he has so much health to begin with and a decent bit of armor. Let's go and end the turn. That guy did move as expected. Again, that PDW, even at range, still really working for us. Technician lost his cover, or lost her cover, I should say, but no damage done. Return fire saved us from anything too deadly. Now, this gunner's probably going to move in as well. I was actually taking a shot at the turret, which will return fire. Unfortunately, the turret does not get lucky this time. Now, we are out of ammo with the technician. We can reload, which we will do. So, we could go ahead and take a shot at that guy, but I'm a little bit skeptical to do that. So, I'm going to go and hide around the corner here. And we can see now we've got another gunner on the roof that we couldn't see before. I'm going to put you on Overwatch in case that gunner comes around the corner. So, we have our heavy. We have this one here. I think you probably should go over here and just get rid of that one. One gunner less to deal with is always going to be better for us. We've spotted another crate. So, let's take our shot. This, again, should be an almost guaranteed kill. There we go. The first few shots missed, but we'd have definitely got him with some of the later ones. Now, we're taking return fire. He's actually done some damage to the back of the APC. Took a bit of the armor off, but nothing too much to worry about. And I'm going to start moving the APC back towards him so we can deal with him later as well. We do have the heavy. Now, I wanted to move the heavy up onto this rooftop, and I think I'm still going to do that. I think that is still my option here. We'll probably automatically grab this objective and get ourselves some willpower.
We're receiving your camera feed and confirming hostiles.
So that is excellent.
Oh, shit. There's a big one coming. Get ready.
And we've got this assault as well. So do we try and deal with the guy on the roof, or do we go over here and try and deal with whoever might be coming around this way? I think I'd like to go and see what's in that chest, personally. So let's go and start moving a little closer up. I don't think there's going to be any more enemies in that building, but that's usually when you find out you're wrong. So I'm not going to risk it. So Technician takes an Overwatch shot at that moving gunner. Actually does some damage. And now we get a return fire shot as well. Took his cover out. Heavy's probably a little bit too far away to take a shot from there. Oh, there is another guy down here. And that's why I'm glad that I didn't take in the assault. You're going up onto the roof. That's interesting. Okay, so it is our turn again. Now, unfortunately, I can't move the heavy far enough to deal with that guy, so I'm not going to bother. I just wanted him in a bit of a better position, but at least I think we've found where all of the enemies are. So, do we want to deal with you? Well, yes, we do. The big problem we have with you is your shield. Let's get you around on this side. And we'll put you on Overwatch. I don't think he's going to get close enough to do us any damage. Let's move around with our technician a little. And we'll pop our technician on Overwatch. We'll go Overwatch on our heavy as well. I mean, we did get a lot of willpower, which is all going to be useful. And let's go ahead and get the armadillo, and let's start bringing this closer so we can make more use of it. Not sure we're going to have a shot on anybody from there, so I might just bring it even closer still. It's only taken 1 hit point of damage, so that isn't really a lot to worry about. Now, you are coming closer. We did get our Overwatch shot. Unfortunately, it was all straight in the shield. Oh, excellent. Good shot there from our heavy, even at a great range. We actually managed to do 5 damage, disable the grenade arm, and we have put a bleed on there. Return fire from the PDW was not lucky, but that... Oh, no, we actually got him on the return fire from the assault. He would have been dead at the beginning of the next turn anyway. Right, this guy's actually moving in, and I don't like that. But this is an excellent opportunity to show off our stun. So we're going to go and move right next to this guy. And we are going to select the melee attack option and electric strike. Unfortunately, the camera angle didn't really do that justice, but we were able to finish him off. We may still be able to fire our weapon once, although I'm not sure we have a line of sight on this guy. In fact, we do not. Now, I'm a little bit concerned for my assault here, because this guy's right in our face. We only have 1 shot. Not too sure if we're going to be able to do significant enough damage, but I think I'm going to risk it. And we actually got him. Excellent. I was a little bit concerned if we didn't get him. I'd normally have 2 shots without moving, but I would have had to have reloaded, which made things difficult. Let's go ahead and move over here, because I would still like to get that crate. And I don't think we have too much else to worry about. You didn't take any damage. The technician's actually taken some damage, but she can heal herself on the next turn. Let's start moving back in this direction. I think we've probably gotten rid of most of the enemies on the map so far. I'm going to go ahead and move the heavy back down in this direction, because let's be honest, we all know what's coming. So let's get you down on the bridge so you'll be slightly more useful. And I'm just going to end the turn. And there she is. So if you played Back a Build 1 or you've seen any videos from it, you will notice that the Queen looks a little bit different to what she did in the previous build. That's because, much like the normal enemies, even the bosses have these mutations. And that's one of the mutations for the Queen. In fact, it's several mutations, because each body part can mutate independently. So that's the legs, the head, the thorax, the abdomen, and the carapace. And you will notice that this is the fully armoured Queen. So she's got upgraded pincers, an upgraded head. All of the bits have got extra armour on. She is going to take a lot to take down. She's definitely going to be no pushover, so we do need to deal with her. This is the reason why I'm trying to get everybody into position. Bearing in mind, as powerful as the APC is, I do have my sniper in the back, so I'm down a man to begin with already. So if we open this, we've actually got a spare drone there for the technician. That will be very useful. We probably don't need the spare assault rifle, but we'll definitely take the grenade. And I'll take the PDW magazine because I can hand that over to the technician. And I'm sure she'll appreciate that. Let's go and start running forwards. Now, the Queen normally does appear on the map with a couple of friends, so I wouldn't be even slightly surprised if we don't see one of them. Let's try and get my heavy in a slightly better position. We can't see anything else. As I mentioned previously, you can now see down here on the enemy indicator that we can see that open crate now. The indicator has actually changed to let us know that that one's been opened. There she goes. I knew that there'd be a couple with her. Not a problem at all. We should be able to deal with that quite nicely. Let us find that assault, because he is quite far back. And I'm going to just run around towards the technician. It's going to take a few turns for those crabs to go towards us. The Queen hasn't actually moved in yet, so that's fine. I am happy with that. We don't need to do any sort of repair work there, so I think I might just end the turn and let them come towards me. We will move the heavy forwards a little, but I still think overall we're fine. So let's end the turn. I'm not going to waste ammunition by firing from this far away. The chances of it being effective are very low, although we are returning fire. Did not get lucky with anything. The turret takes a return fire shot, disables the grenade arm and causes a bleed, so I'm very happy with that. That turret has really been proving its worth right here. Now this guy's getting a lot closer. Our turret takes its free shot at the beginning of our turn. Unfortunately, most of that is absorbed by armor. Let's open our inventory on our... we actually want the assault selected. So we're going to open your inventory, and this is something on the interface that a few people haven't worked out yet. It is in the game guide, so if you do get to play this yourself, do read the included game guide because it does have some very useful tips. But if you open your inventory and you are standing next to another soldier, it doesn't work on the diagonals, but it does work if they are standing right adjacent to you. You will see their image on the right hand side of the inventory screen, and you can just take objects that are in your backpack and you can drop them directly onto that image and it will put them in their inventory. Now that actually saves you time, because what I see a lot of people doing is dropping them on the ground and then picking them up again with the other soldier. This way we have a soldier with full action points who now has those extra options in her inventory. So we've actually saved ourselves a few points there. I'm going to go ahead and move the technician up behind the armadillo because it'd be nice if we have someone close by to repair it. And I'm going to go ahead and deploy the turret as well, so we've got a bit of additional firepower here. Now it would be really nice to get that that one down, and I think we will try it. We do need to get into a slightly better position. Now he does have his shield, and we're not particularly accurate, but, well, let's give it a try anyway. You've got to roll the dice sometime. And we only did 2 damage. That was a lot less than I was hoping for, I'll be quite honest. Now the question is, how much damage, if any, could we do with the armadillo? It looks like quite a lot, so let's go and get rid of him. He's really close to us, and I just prefer that he wasn't there, so let's have him out of the way. We take a return fire shot from the gunner. Now the fact that he doesn't have his grenade on, that does make me feel better. We could possibly take one more shot at that guy, but he's so far away, it's an almost guaranteed miss, and I really don't want to waste the ammo. Finally, we have our assault, who I think we can move into a better position. I will keep him in cover, and we will go ahead and end the turn. He does have a grenade, so we'll probably want to use that against the Queen. She's going to need a lot of explosives to try and get rid of some of that armor. So the turret takes a hit, but it's still going. It's got 2 armor and a fairly decent amount of health. The turret also takes its free shot at the start of the turn. Does unfortunately miss, but luckily so does the return fire from the gunner. Now I am going to have to move forward and try and trigger the Queen shortly, so let's think about doing that. Again, taking the shot with the Queen probably isn't all that useful for us right now. We might be able to take a shot at that guy with Stoller. Let's go ahead and just let things come to us. This guy's going to bleed out in a couple of turns anyway. I'm going to start moving forwards with my heavy so that we can fire our missile at the Queen. And we have actually managed to take him down. Now normally the Queen would trigger right the way. It's just because she probably doesn't have a line of sight on us at the moment. She can't move all that fast. That is the great thing about the Armoured Queen. She is quite slow because she's a little bit bulky. No, she's not moving towards us at all, so I think we might need to go and take the party to her. I am more than up for doing that. It's a shame we're moving a bit further away from these turrets. They won't be able to help us quite so much. But sure, let's start moving up. Let's get into a position where we can go say hi. We obviously want to open with a rocket, so let's go and see how close we need to be to go and deliver one of those to the face. We probably can get one in from there. Excellent. Won't do a huge amount of damage. The way explosives work have been changed a little bit, but they do still shred armor, so There we go. We only did 3 damage, but we took off 4 armor. That's what we were hoping for. Let's go ahead and end the turn. There we go. That woke her up. Oh, she actually might be close enough to do some damage to the heavy there. I think we got lucky. I think she wasn't quite close enough. We do have a second missile. We're definitely going to be making use of that. So let's go and send that via special delivery as well. So pretty much the same as last time. We did 3 damage, we took 3 armor off. Now you'll notice the Queen's armor indicator is actually still showing that she has 5 armor out of 6. That's because this indicator shows you her average armor. The 3 armor that we took off the first time, or 4, and the 3 armor that we took off the second time would have been armor from 1 or more individual body parts, but this is her average armor, so she's still got an awful lot left to go. Our heavy can't do an awful lot right now. I would like to get people in some better positions. I'm not sure if we can hit her with a grenade. Now, our technician has a grenade as well. We might be able to reach her that far with a grenade. Yes, we can. A little bit careful because we've got to throw it over the back of the armadillo. So, another 2 damage and some more armor shredded. And yes, we do have a grenade on the technician. So, if we get to a similar distance, we should be able to throw that at the Queen as well. In before the Queen just ruffle stomps in and takes out my entire team because I've left them a little bit too close. So let's go and throw that in over there. Another 2 damage, another 2 armor gone. I can back you up 1, so I will. And yeah, I think what I might do here is we might go for a ram again. So let's just try and ram this into the Queen if we can. There we go. Smashed it straight into her leg, and we've actually done 16 damage there. Disabled the front left leg and applied a bleed. Now, some people have been a little bit concerned that the APC is maybe a little bit overpowered. That is fine. Remember that this is a pre-alpha build, so there are quite a lot of things that either don't quite work the way that we intend them to, or just straight up aren't balanced at this point. There's very little practical reason to try and balance a pre-alpha build, because every time you add something new or make a change, the balance gets broken anyway. But that is all something that will be fixed before final release. So the Queen's going to do some damage to the armadillo. She's done 12 damage, took 3 of the armor away, and she's managed to disable the front wheel, which is a little bit unfortunate. We can still move though, so let's go ahead and take advantage of that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the APC back a little. And I'm going to go and take my technician, and the technician is going to switch to her repair arms, and we're going to move over here, and we are going to repair. So in go those little mech arms. Now this doesn't repair the damage to the front wheel. That has sort of stifled our ability to have quite as much movement as we did before. Let's go ahead and just take a shot. It'd be great if we could disable 1 or more of these pincers. Pretty much wherever we hit here, we're guaranteed to do some damage. She doesn't have quite as much armor on her thorax anymore, and it's quite presented to us at the moment, so let's just go ahead and put some shots into there. Well, we did a little bit of damage, not quite as much as I would have wanted, but it never is it? Let's go ahead and move the heavy into a better position. We can take a shot with him as well. Again, let's just try and put these straight into the chest if we can. Okay, we didn't do any damage, but we did shred another armor, and that was probably and hopefully armor shredded from the thorax. Now, I can't do an awful lot with the assault right now, which is a little bit of a shame, so I'm just going to go ahead and put him over here. I don't have any spare grenades. I could go out and start looking for some additional crates. Oh, now the back right wheel's disabled. We did take a reaction fire shot there, but that was more than useless. So let's have a look and see what we can do here. If we don't move, we can take 2 shots. Yeah, I think we'll do a lot more damage now if we just pile straight into the chest. Took 2 armor off and did 13 damage. That is looking very good for us right now. We didn't move. Well, let's take that second shot. There's only 2 armor here. We only have 2 shots left on the armadillo, so let's try and make them count. We've actually managed to destroy the front pincer there as well. So she has a bleed. She still has quite a lot of health, though. We can repair the armadillo once more, so let's go ahead and get that done. Once again, the Queen is missing some attacks that she will have in the final game. It's not just her pincers that she'll be able to use, but depending on the Queen that you face, she'll be able to deploy mist, she'll be able to spawn these little lava creatures that can attack you, and she'll also have some ranged abilities later on in the game. And remember, although we have shown quite a lot of the Queen, this is only one boss. There will be more in the final game. Let's go ahead and put some more rounds into the chest there. And I think, yes, we actually got her.
You did it. I'm proud of you. For remaining loyal to the principles of New Jericho and helping us secure Project Hecate.
I will be quite honest, that is one of the more successful runs that I've had with Backer Build 2. I didn't actually lose anybody, and I was able to demonstrate pretty much all of the new features that I wanted to, so that is fantastic. So that's what you have in Backer Build 2. Of course, we're already now working on Backer Build 3, which is going to have a lot more features added, and hopefully we can keep surprising you guys. As always, we do welcome your feedback, so if you encounter any bugs or you have any general feedback, do visit our forums and let us know what you think. Thanks a lot for watching. We will see you on Backer Build 3.